I have dug up an economic indicator inside the ocean of Russian economy statistical data that shocked even me, known for my dark economic forecasts for Russia. With this indicator in my hands, I'm going to destroy those who keep saying that Russian economy has circumvented the international sanctions and is doing well and is going strong. You'd better get ready. It's going to be very interesting today. Howdy everyone, my name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. As usual, you will not find any propaganda, BS, or lies here. You will only find truth, common sense, and logic, and some emotions too, because I am a human being after all. I have a fairly short message for you, but it packs a very strong punch. Now, when you want to know how an economy performs, you always should look at the data. You've got to have reliable data, of course. Data you can trust. Data can tell you everything. Only there's one catch. You have to know where to look, because all data is not created equal. And that's what they teach you at economics school, how to work with data. Tons of statistics and econometrics classes, among other things. And that stuff can be tedious and boring, but it's important. I constantly keep looking at the data coming out of Russia, even though I take it with a grain of salt, of course. I know it's cooked in one way or another. But even in the case of Russia, they can't cook it all. They can't cook all the statistics, but they can bury it in the pile of other data, not such significant data. Again, you have to know where to look. And I have dug up an economic indicator that paints a very good picture of current situation with Russian businesses. And it is shocking. It is very simple to understand and pretty straightforward. I'll actually leave this economic indicator for the end of this live stream, for the dessert, so to speak. For now, I'll explain why it has taken so long for Russian economy to crash and give you some statistics for some of the Russian industries for the first quarter of 2025. I am asked often, Konstantin, why it is taking so long for Russian economy to crash? It's been 3 years and it's still alive. And you keep telling us that it's economic tsunami and that it's still alive. Friends, economies take a long time to change. To the better or to the worse. There's a great deal of inertia. Nothing in the economy works instantly. There's always a lag. I think the only thing that works instantly is the war. When there's an invasion, then everything changes overnight. But I'm not even looking at that. Anyway, Russian economy came to the war with Ukraine prepared. Putin was preparing for the war for a very long time. We see that clearly now in 2025. He had stashed away a lot of money, a lot of resources. One thing to notice here, this inertia works both ways. It takes a lot to drive economy into recession, and it takes a long time. But it takes even longer to recover from the recession. So it works both ways. For 3 years, Russia was using up its stashed resources, money. But it didn't use the money wisely. It used it all the savings it had to flood the military-industrial complex to make weapons, missiles, tanks, guns, basically to make death, to send it to Ukraine, to send everything that explodes and kills people. And it does not add value to the economy whatsoever. It is not a good way to spend money. And I'm talking in economic terms, not in ethical terms. That ethical is a completely different thing. Now, in May 2025, Russia's resources, Putin relied on so much, have been used up, depleted. It's all over. Let's go to the good part, to the statistics, to the fun part. Now, I am here comparing production output of different industries and goods first quarter of 2025 to the first quarter of 2024. That's usually how economic comparison is done. If you want to see the performance, you take certain period and you compare it to the previous periods. And the following are the changes, not in money, not in rubles, but in production units, in metric tons, in kilometers, whatever it is, whatever applies. So the comparison is clean. And I'll start with food production. Frozen fish, minus 5%. Beef, minus 1%. Vegetable oil, minus 11%. Sunflower seeds, minus 15%. Cheese, with different cheeses, minus 2%. Flour, minus 7%. Cereals, minus 6%. Sugar, minus 32%. Vodka, minus 23%. Brandy, minus 25%. Vodka and brandy are measured in decaliters, by the way. Well, how about that for starters? Now let's move to other products. Cotton fabrics, minus 5%. Bed linen, minus 40%. Truck tires, minus 10%. Cement, minus 9%. Bricks, minus 3%. Refrigerators, minus 7%. Washing machines, minus 29%. Ball bearings, the parts that are needed in just about any machine with a spinning part, with a moving part, minus 6%. Elevators, minus 10%. Now to vehicles, excavators, and different commercial vehicles, minus 10%. Electric train engines, minus 16%. And 2-star indicators out of this all that I've just given you above, steel, minus 3%, and rolled steel, minus 5%. Now, I have seen this data, but I doubt 3 and 5% decline for steel. I have heard different experts give different numbers, up to minus 14% for steel production. So even though minus 3 and minus 5, in economic language, it is called recession. Now, before I jump to this most important indicator that will tell you everything, you will understand everything right away, I would like to take a pause to take a sip of this wonderful English breakfast tea. Thank you, the English, for this wonderful drink. It's my favorite. You know, this part of any video, any live stream, is called mid-roll. And big YouTubers use it to do commercials, ads. They insert ad, a company sponsors a YouTuber. So YouTuber comes in and says, and now I would like to share information about this product, blah, 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 blah. Again, it's called mid-roll. I am both demonetized, so you're not seeing any commercial ads here. And I'm not doing any ads. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I have not been approached by anyone. So I am commercial free. The only sponsor of this video is Konstantin, me, this guy. Um, I would like, instead of telling you about the products and ads or whatever, I'd like to share one personal thing. I was doing an interview. I was answering questions on the on a YouTube channel called Peter Kurzin Geopolitics, and some people were saying, "Well, Konstantin, why are you telling us all this information? You're just making things up, grifting on the war with Ukraine in Ukraine." Okay, this I don't really pay attention to haters, but that's somehow I noticed a couple comments like that, and I would like to share this with you. The most thing that I value being here at YouTube is trust that you have in me. Because without trust, this whole thing doesn't make any sense. Okay? All the information that I speak of, I check and double check. All I do is find something and fact check, sometimes numerous times. I don't need to make things up here. I don't need to make topics up, to make live stream, themes to get more views. And this is my stand. I always talk about something that I am personally interested in. I am documenting the demise of my country. And I think it's important for myself, for my people, for the entire world, and for my children, who I am sure will ask me in 10, 20 years, 15 years, Daddy, what were you doing when the war in Ukraine was happening? Okay. I always talk of things that I find important for the country and for myself. I feel responsible for what is happening in Ukraine, and I'm trying to make my contribution to changing things. So the most thing I value is you trusting me, and I promise you that I will continue being the same and doing the same. So thank you so very much. This community is one of the best things in my life. And I will do my everything that I can and do my best of the best not to lose this trust. So thank you. That's the personal thing I wanted to share with you. And now back into the economic indications. Wow. I myself, when I learned about that, anyway. How do I approach this? Now, the most important indicator, that is how much of income tax is collected. That, along with steel production, is the key indicator. Well, the steel production and the income tax collected are two key indicators of how economy is performing. You see, steel is used in production of pretty much everything. And if you have steel production dropping, then you sure know that in general, country produces less products. Steel is everywhere. And I think this is the first time in the history of the world when during the active war with Ukraine, during spending so much on Russia's military-industrial complex that uses huge, enormous amounts of steel, production of steel in Russia is dropping. I think Vladimir Putin is anti-genius. It's like, how can you do that? They're producing so many bullets, tanks, missiles, I don't know, guns. And Russia is producing less steel these days. Unbelievable. Imagine what's happening in the civil industries that produce things. Well, anyway. Now, you can say anything. Give any numbers. Sugarcoat whatever you want to sugarcoat. But all of that is cheap talk. I'll give you an example. Vladimir Putin twice in the last 2 years gave Russians this information that Russian economy is first he said number 5 in the world by consumer parity. And then he said number 4 in the world, surpassing Japan. So, economy number 4 in the world by consumer parity, right, is dropping everything, production of everything at the numbers I just gave you, right? So anyway, and you can tell anything you want. You can say it's the economy number 5, number 4. Again, all of that is cheap talk. The work is steel and income tax. Steel is down 3% and rolled steel is down 5%. And again, I question these numbers. I think they're extra cooked, crispy cooked, stir-fried, because I heard different numbers, 14% down, okay? But even taking these two numbers, 3 and 5%, it's pretty darn bad. And now, to the cherry on top of the cake, the income tax. Now, I want you to sit down, because when you're going to hear this number, you're going to have hard time standing up. In 2025, the income tax has decreased by 19% in 2 first months compared to the first 2 months of the last year, 2024. And listen to this very carefully and write it down, not to forget. This is incredibly strange number, because the new taxation system in Russia took effect on January 1st of this year. With this new taxation system, has the income tax increased by 5% from 20% in the previous years to 25% flat. That's how much companies are paying income tax now. They pay higher percentage, and yet the income tax has dropped by 19%. And this is in rubles, excluding inflation. These are clean numbers. So instead of jumping up by a great deal due to this tax increase, okay, you have the decline. Do you understand what it means? Recession, recession, recession. Russian economy is falling apart in front of our eyes. Minus 19%. That's what it means. Falling apart in front of us. So why is this happening? 2 reasons. There are 2 major reasons, basically, and that's it. First, companies sell less for different reasons. But the main reason is population has less money to buy things. Therefore, companies sell less. Therefore, they earn less. Therefore, they pay less tax. And then the second reason, the companies, many companies in Russia close their doors. They have closed their doors. They are going bankrupt. They're defaulting on their loans. They cannot borrow any longer because the interest rate, the key rate is 21. And if you go to a bank, you are offered a rate of probably 27 to 29% annuity. No, not annuity, interest. 27 interest, annual 27%. So how about that? Minus 19%. That is the question to those who have been asking me constantly, why is Russian economies doing well still? 3 years and it's still doing well. Well, you know what? That's going on the 4th year, and it's not doing well. Not that well at all. That is the recession, the demise right in front of our eyes. That is the economic tsunami I have been talking about. That's Titanic. It's not, being filled with water. No. It's on the way down there. It's a half mile heading fast to the bottom. Okay. So this is what basically the situation is. You can't cheat the numbers. Again, these numbers are publicly available, but you have to know where to get them. Росстат data, it's hidden all the way inside. Russian people, they're clueless on what's going on. But at the same time, many have started noticing the effects. Because in real life, do you know what minus 19% of income tax in the month of January and February mean? It means that you walk on the street in a big city and you see stores. Some stores are closing. Some closed. Not too many, but some. Okay. You see apartments and houses not being bought. You see prices dropping for real estate. And you certainly see layoffs. Person you know was fired. Your relative was laid off. Someone was offered a pay cut to keep the job and things like that. And you start noticing these things, and they start appearing here and there. Before, everything was fine. Now, and makes you think. And you go to a store, and the prices up. And we're getting to the point where Russian people are just going to look around and sit on their butts in the dirt. They have started picking up the bill for the criminal war that Russia is waging on Ukraine. I've been saying it for a very long time, and now no forecasts needed. We are just seeing it happening. So this economic indicator has shocked me, minus 19%. And it's just first 2 months. And I guarantee you, folks, this is just the beginning. This isn't the worst of this year yet. So I was thinking how to end this live stream. And I usually talk about popcorn. And it's becoming pretty sad. Because popcorn is something fun, something joyous. So I'm calling my bucket of popcorn sad popcorn. Or paying the bill popcorn. And I keep on eating it, We are going to have a grand show. A very sad, but a grandiose show unfold right in front of our eyes. So, and I certainly will be here to comment and tell you what happens in Russia. There will be so many news. I have hard time keeping with all the news in these live streams because usually it's just one message. But I have come up with Formula 54. I select 9 news per day and make them available to patrons of Inside Russia. I find news that I find significant, important, that matter for Russia, about Russia, that the news that you will not find anywhere else in mainstream media. And along with my commentaries, I put them onto Patreon account. So if you want to stay on top of things Russia, you want to keep up with things, events that unfold in Russia, you didn't know where to look for the news, look no further. consider signing up to become patron of Inside Russia. I'm going to place the links in the pinned comment after the end of the stream. Check it out. A lot of people liked it. So thank you so very much. It's been my message today. I would like to invite everyone to join the live stream chat. Thank you for coming. I don't know how about you folks, but I learned about this number today and I'm still shocked. Minus 9% when taxes increased and they should go up. Instead, they go down by so much. This is it. This is it. This is it. If anyone ever asks me one more time about, why Russian economy is still alive, I will give them that number. Minus 19% income tax. So let me turn the live stream chat on. I would like to, if you're here for the first time, I'd like to tell you that this community is the best on internet, on YouTube, and that is because I have great help, great moderation team. They're Lorna, Mami K, Bob S, Harry Potnin, Amir Fazad, and Dirk. Thank you, friends, for coming again. One more time. They've been helping me for 3 years now, and I appreciate very, very much. Inside Russia is a pleasant community. Please refrain from talking US politics and insulting other members. Please be nice and be respectful. And the moderation team watches that everyone behaves. So thank you. Let me just fine-tune the chat a little bit. We have a big event today. One of our best, if not the best, member of this community, Terry, had birthday 2 days ago, and I was going to sing celebration song, but unfortunately the live stream was cut abruptly, and I couldn't do that. So this is the time to do it. I will start. I will see as soon as I see Terry in the chat. I will do that. Just Terry, are you here? Number one, I'm seeing you. So, dear Terry, thank you so much for being such a great member of Inside Russia community. I think you haven't missed one live stream. So, it's insane. Thank you so very much. And I would like to sing this little song for you. Please forgive me in advance. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. I wish you good health. I wish you recovery. I wish you pain-free living. I wish you smiles, be surrounded by good people, and have lots of coins in your pocket. Thank you so much, Terry. Friends, thank you for coming. As usual, if you want me to notice your message or comment easier, please put it in all caps and put Inside Russia after that sign. That way I see it highlighted in large orange box, just like leitmotif, and send the legend K did. If I miss your comment, not because I ignore you, but because I just didn't see you, keep on posting it, and sooner or later I get to see it. So thank you, friends. I will jump straight to the comments. Hello, everyone. Hello, all pillars and great members of Inside Russia community. Rock Bard, howdy. I saw you at Pyotr Kurzin's live stream today. KG1, Sam, Andrew from South Africa, howdy. Pamela, Aaronka, friends. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Terry, I'm glad you like it. Lucas, hi Constantine, thanks for your work, mate. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Sherleaf, good to see you. Thank you. Um, Guy, new Pope Leo left the balcony from Peru, I believe. Well, when I started uh, preparing to do the live stream, I just saw the news that they actually selected the new Pope. Well, good, good, you know. Kir Nevo from Tashkent. Howdy, howdy, Kir. Leitmotif. What is your opinion of the selection of Cardinal Prevost as Pope? I have no clue. I don't know who they voted for and who they selected. I don't even know who is Cardinal Prevost is. Um, Pinda. I was really annoyed by that person on Peter's live stream. Uh, I'm not sure who you mean. I didn't see the live stream chat because I was answering questions. It's just one, I looked at. Piotr doesn't have moderators, so he attracts, and he talks of Russia. Obviously, he attracts lots of Russian trolls. I believe it was one of the trolls, but that comment kind of caught my attention, and that's why I think it's important. Lately I've talked only about Russia, only about the politics, the economy. I haven't really talked much about myself, and not Pinda and everyone who's been here for a long time. That's changed because in the past I talked more about me, my take on things and my personal experiences and things like that. So I think that's probably would be a good idea to do a couple more personal streams to you know so people, the new people who signed up recently, they know better who I am. Broski beer, I'm new here. Well, there you go. Thank you for coming, Broski beer. Good to see you. Welcome to Inside Russia community. I hope you like it here. Roy Cousins, good to see you all the way from London. The new pope is from Chicago. I would have never guessed. Kev Sullivan, thank you. Um, Carlos Enrique Salas, thank you for a great video. How do you explain that such basic economy parameter was hidden to your sharp attention for so long time? It wasn't hidden. It wasn't hidden. It's just I wasn't paying much attention to it because it was not as bad. Okay. They were using a lot of money to flood. I call it the monetary flood. They used, now, in very simple words, an explanation, simplified explanation. Let's say that a person has a job and earns so much money, spends less, and saves every year, saves a decent amount, and keeps it in a bank account. And then all of a sudden, a mental illness happens to a person, and he starts spending left and right. There's no tomorrow, buys a luxury car, trashes it, buys another one, goes and burns neighbor's house, and is fined for that, and is forced to pay out of his pocket for the new house or to the insurance company. But he has a bank account, everything's fine. He still has a job, and at the job, people look at his behavior and they start giving him less and work, pay him less, right? Less and less. But then he spends more and more. But he still has the bank account, and he still pays personal income tax and so forth. This is basically Russia can be compared to such person. But at one point, he goes to his bank to withdraw some money, and they go, well, you know what? Your account balance is zero. You don't have any money left. And then right here, there's a collector standing saying, hey, you got to pay. You missed your payment by like 2 weeks. You got to pay now. And all of a sudden, everyone knows. One credit card company, another credit card company, third credit card company, neighbors, everyone knows he's in debt. He doesn't have any money left, and he's in trouble. This is basically what's happened to Russia. And that economic indicator, I simply wasn't paying too much attention to because it was not in red. The companies paid income tax. And now, minus 19%, with the new taxation that's supposed to bring in more money. Alan Hill, Professor K, thank you so much. I'm not professor, but thank you, I'm flattered. I too have paid attention 3 years. Wow, you make sense out of the senseless. Thank you, thank you, friend. Thank you for wonderful words. Carlos, I hope I explained you well. Palvia Flex, good to see you. Any news of earplug shortages in Russia because of Zelensky warning from May 9th? Well, first of all, I don't know which warning you... Oh, you mean explosions. That's a joke. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Ads Miller. I mean, Reagan announced Star Wars in 83. Reykjavik meeting was in 86, and the Soviet Union only finally collapsed in 91. Well, like I said, it takes a while. The Soviet Union collapse was in the making since mid-70s. It's a long story. If to tell it short, there was capitalism in the Soviet Union for 10 years. Yes, I talked about it. There are live streams. They changed the economic system. So the enterprises, state-owned enterprises, could decide for themselves what to produce and what quantities and how to sell it. And they could keep some of the money, some of the income, and distribute it among employees. And I call it capitalism, okay? Not pure capitalism, of course, but it was an economic insensitive. No. Economic motivation, okay? So, and Russian GDP doubled every 5 years for for like 2 times in a row. Every like 5 years doubled and another 5 years doubled. And things were doing well. And Soviet Union started resembling China. Well, now what has been going on in China, Communist Party and very strong economy. But then Russia discovered oil and started exporting oil and started swimming in dollars, petrodollars, and started. So they stopped this capitalistic initiative. They brought state planning back into full force, and that's when the collapse of the USSR started. So it was in the making for about 15 years. Viltas Profils, howdy. How do you think? There's a rumor that Ukraine considers to go to Moscow, same way as Wagner. What do you think about that, and what would be Putin's reaction? I mean, Wagner has done it once, and I said it was a precedent. Others might try it, and Ukrainians might try it as well. I'm sure that there would be fierce fighting. They would try to stop the Ukrainians, and they would eventually stop. They would take the troops out of the front lines and quickly pull them back. So I think that would be just a suicide mission. Okay, I doubt Ukrainians would reach Moscow if they did the same thing as Wagner did. About 5 to 10,000 troops. Uh, it worked for Wagner because it was a different situation. Because all the military that Wagner encountered, all the co-ops, they just turned around, and started looking away. Okay, because they liked what Wagner was doing. They were silently supporting Wagner. Okay, I don't think they would do that with the Ukrainians. That's my point of view. Fred House from Lithuania, howdy. Every time I see someone from Latvia, Estonia, or Lithuania, warms my heart. From Poland, from Czech Republic, thank you for coming. Edwin Auskas, with this economic news today, do you think that Russia will try to attack the Baltics and Poland? I don't think so. Well, just thinking in the military terms, Russian military is so exhausted. It doesn't have any resources left. It uses donkeys in the front lines. It doesn't have any tanks left, or very few tanks, I guess. They're using this self-made cars. They use scooters. How in the world would they attack the Baltics? Poland, they would have their teeth broken if they tried to do that. So that's what I think. The only advantage Putin has is the nukes. Would he use nukes? I highly doubt it. I think what Putin's strategy will be, and you watch tomorrow, he's going to announce some kind of a victory, triumph of Russia over everyone, okay? And then he's going to place Russia onto the military track. And then his goal is to hang on to the power in Russia for as long as possible. He doesn't care of anything else. If he invades Poland or the Baltic states, he's risking a lot, so much more than what's going on now. So I strongly don't think he would even attempt to invade Poland or the Baltics. Bogdan tests software. I was somewhat worried your internet was cut off yesterday. It was the weirdest thing. All right, so I'm in the middle of a conversation, and all of a sudden, that's it. Live stream stops. But my internet seemed to be doing fine because I tried to open websites in my browser and they opened. So either it was an interference, outside interference, or there was a glitch in my software, streaming software. Never happened before. And it happened. Anyway, it is very odd. Thank you for worrying, stay safe before anything. I'm doing my best. Thank you. Kev Sullivan, I mowed the lawn at the Oracle of Omaha all summer in 79. I knew he was rich, but he was not such a big deal in 79. Well, I was thinking of the Oracle. He resigned, not retired, but resigned. He stepped down. Before, I think 3 months earlier, he cashed out, meaning he sold much of stock. The Berkshire Hathaway cashed out. I think that he foresaw what was coming, the huge instability that Donald Trump is bringing with his actions, and the stock market's going down, very volatile. Anyway, I feel like the era is over with him stepping down because he started his company. Well, he started being the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway in 1965. 1965. That's when my parents were young. Imagine that. And he's stepping down now. That's But don't you think this mess could go on for years, like 3 years? Yes, it will go on for a long time. Friends, don't misunderstand me, please. I'm not saying that Russia will stop functioning. No, Russian people will go on living. They will continue working. They will have some kind of jobs available. But those jobs are going to be, pardon my language, shitty. They're going to be paying very little, and it's going to be down to the survival level. Okay, there's no technology in Russia. The system of education is destroyed. Healthcare system is destroyed. Retirement system, the pension system is destroyed. Everything is freaking destroyed. It will go on for years, yes, but how? It's going to be a very sad sight. And sooner or later, and I think rather sooner, political instability will enter Russia. And once Russian people, Russian clans, Russian strongmen will start fighting with each other, trust me, there will be no attention paid to outside Russia. And everyone will exhale in peace. Russia will not be a threat. Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen. But you're right, it'll go on forever, for decades. The question is when the bloodshed in Ukraine will stop. Games PX GPX. Hello, one of the best Russian news. And oh, thank you so much. How can Putin still fighting with so low in price? How is he funding the war? God bless your family. Thank you so much for good words. Look, this is the beauty of it. The oil price started dropping 2 months ago. And Russia is just starting to feel the effect of lower and dropping oil prices. It takes 3 to 4 months, I would say, for Russian people to start feeling the effect. Well, they're feeling it now. The Russian Ministry of Finance just downgraded the forecast for budget deficit. It increased it more than 3 times, almost 3.5 times. So the effect is felt. And I think this drop in income tax is also effect of lower oil prices, but this is just the beginning. We're just scratching the surface, okay? This is the economic tsunami I've been talking about for years now. This is how it looks like. Again, we're just scratching the surface. 2025 is going to be, it's going to be bad. Mark my words. Bob, thank you so much for helping in, posting the Buy Me Coffee links. I appreciate it so much, help. Friend, it seems like every time you post, someone buys a coffee or a couple coffees. AA, life in Russia is always complicated. Well, at sometimes it is more complicated than in other times. Adam, Black Sea scuba diving is in for a massive boom. That's funny. Headhunter 6 might want to get a new computer, router, and a cell phone. That's going to be a lot of money. And sorry to hear that you're coughing still. Are you taking good care of yourself? And believe it or not, and this is crazy, I had pneumonia 3 weeks ago. I was feeling fine. I recovered. It was fantastic until my birthday. Sore throat again. Very, very little one. Running nose for a few days and coughing again. I'm constantly sick. I mean, I go to doctor. I don't have like HIV or things like that that suppress my immune system. It's prolonged stress, high level of cortisol, and all the craziness that happening around me. It's not heaven, it's being homeless, okay? I constantly worried sick about being homeless, which I am right now with my family. We don't have a country. We don't know how to plan our future. Ah, that's not fun. Constantly sick. I was feeling so great when I was just fine. My energy levels were up. Mood was up, everything was great for 1 week. Oh, no kidding. Jeffrey Thompson, thank you so much. 2 weeks ago, International Monetary Fund began reporting Russia's GDP is declining. $230 million. No kidding. What was the International Monetary Fund doing 1 year ago, 2 years ago? They were praising Putin, saying, oh, Russian economy is great, circumventing sanctions. And now they're just turncoating like that. Oh, it's declining all of a sudden. I wish I could swear on this live stream. I have very bad words for them. They're freaking traitors. Andreas Benz, I was surprised about steel dropping. A weapon industry by 40% of budget, less steel production is surprising. It's shocking. It's not surprising. It's shocking. Granted, they started exporting less steel and competing with the Chinese manufacturers, but still about steel. They're producing so much weapon. It's unthinkable. Um, Hubert Delgoa, perhaps you're sick so often because you're streaming late at night every day. Well, I get 7 hours of sleep. It's not like, you know, um, it's not like I don't ever sleep. X-ray tomorrow for me. Still got this pneumonia crap. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. I keep on praying for you. Lovejoy. you know, there's so many people say wonderful words like, oh, please come to Canada, come to Australia, come to England. Do you know that I cannot come to London? They don't even allow me on the steps of the English embassy because they say, "Well, go back to Russia and apply there because you're a Russian citizen." No kidding, I cannot do that. So I can't go to London. If you like, I like, okay, but it's impossible. So, and I've been to London. I love it. That's a great place. Just great people, great country, culture, everything. And I love English tea. English breakfast tea by Gate Harrogates. Harrogates. What's his name? I forgot. Of Harrogates something, and the Twinings. There's two brands that I drink. Uh, Something at Harrogates. Anyway, this English tea, I absolutely love it, but unfortunately, I cannot go to London. Ah, elder, elderberry. What is elderberry? Let me just look it up real quick. Buzina. I don't even see it on sale. I haven't seen it. Buzina. Thank you for uh for letting me know. I see that RW is here. Howdy, friend. good to see you. Thank you. Said popcorn sounds like a Russian brand. It's my brand. I came up with that, because I keep on saying about popcorn. Or I have this. I actually have popcorn. It's small in Uzbekistan. They sell this micro nano size of popcorn. This is this big, and it says real American popcorn, which I highly doubt, but I have it, right? I don't ever eat popcorn here in Uzbekistan, but I have it just for the live streams. But again, popcorn is joy, and I don't have a joy seeing Russia is and attacks Ukraine day after day, kills people, and Russians get killed, and Russian economy is destroyed, and Ukrainian economy has taken even a bigger hit. It's the cities are erased, and it's not joyous. So it's a very sad popcorn for me. Sugar, 32%. Russia needs lots of sugar for sugar coating. Well, I tell you what, they don't really use sugar coating in Russia for sugar coating. They use bullshit for that. That's Russia's sugar coating. Janice Burgess, howdy. Mohammed Hussein, will Chechnya powder keg ignite? Oh, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Kadyrov made a deal with Putin. He announced of the results today. He said he used Mark Twain's phrase, "The rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated." That's what he wrote after he met Putin. It shows me that they made a deal. Who watched my live stream 2 days ago? Basically, Ramzan Kadyrov sent a message to Putin. He's saying, "Hey, listen, I'm here. I need a resolution. Okay, that's the message." He said, "Oh, I'd like to retire. I'm asking Putin to, reveal of my position." But the message was, "Hey, I am here. I'm waiting for the answer. I need guarantees. And listen, don't forget about me, because if I go without resolution, without a deal, Chechnya is a powder keg, not power, of course, but powder keg." And guess what? Putin heard the message, and he brought in Ramzan to the Kremlin. He met him the next day, which was yesterday. As Xi Jinping was in Moscow, instead of going and meeting with Xi Jinping, he met with Ramzan Kadyrov. Imagine that. That's when you know that there's something serious was going on. And today Ramzan was all happy and tweeting that, he's still alive and all of that. So I assume they made a deal. I assume there's some kind of a clarity about the future of Chechnya, but we will see that soon. Thank you for asking, Mohammed. Very good question. Marcus, collapse is always a long story. I couldn't agree more. Yorkshire tea. Yes, I love that. Taylor's at Harrogate. There you go, of course. Yorkshire Gold. That's probably my favorite tea, most favorite tea. But I drink that, and I drink English Breakfast by Twinings, extra strong. Always love it. Deborah from sunny California. Howdy, good to see you. Yorkshire lad. Okay, now I understand why you bring up Yorkshire tea. There you go. Yeah, the best tea probably. Kadyrov, current Prigozhin. It is possible. It is possible. I don't rule out that. Kadyrov paid the price and it was accepted. Very likely. Guy, good to see you. So we had a troll, huh? Oh, we had fans of Putin in the house. It's too late. I'm seeing this comment too late. The biggest fan of Putin. Okay. Well, I guess there's plenty of crazy people out there, you know. Average L, have you thought about Sweden and Norway? They never refuse refugees to come in and apply. Are you kidding me? Sweden kicked out a refugee, legit guy who was standing out against Putin, and they basically deported him. I don't know what happened to the guy, but I offered him a place to stay here in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. And I cannot get to Sweden, I think Norway, because definitely Norway. They're closed for Russian citizens, period. They don't want to do anything with Russian. I'm still here in Tashkent. I'm still with my community, Tashkent Breakfast Club, and friends. I'm still feeling like a stray dog. And we're all feeling like that because we cannot go anywhere. We're limited to very few countries. The only part of the world that we feel comfortable in, Southeast Asia. They don't care about we're Russians, not Russians, you know. Everyone else, they see a passport and they swear or something like that, you know. So, the Sweden and Norway. Ola, my one of my daughters, when she was 16, she visited Norway. She flew with her girlfriend. They were still going to school, and her girlfriend has family there. So they visited for 2 weeks. Ola absolutely loved Norway. She traveled, she stayed in the capital city, and she came back. She was so excited, and she said, fantastic country, fantastic people, you know, very, very, very special culture. But she said, absolutely loved it. So, well, unfortunately, not for us. Tailors of Harrogate, of course, of course. Health is the most important thing after being able to pay your bills and having a roof on your head, over your head. You're absolutely right, Michelle. James Ash, a very good comment. I think you should be careful. Others that speak against Russian leadership have health troubles. I love your presentation. And you're absolutely right. Many people who speak against Russian leadership have health problems. And not just health, freedom troubles. They have taken their freedom, they've thrown to jails, and life, they've taken their lives. How exactly I should be more careful? What exactly should I do? Well, I tell you what, to minimize the risks 100%, I should just come out and say, Hail Putin, and kiss his boot. And most likely they will not go after me. Moreover, they would offer me a job saying, hey, come back to Russia, work for RT, you know, we need you. You have audience, people trust you, you know, we'll pay you good money. And then they will show me the people saying, look at these guys. You know, they're all getting paid. And no one knows. You will be getting paid as well. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'd rather risk my health. Um, this is my values and my principle. And it's scary. I'm honest here. It's very scary, especially when I catch the KGB operatives following me. This is first time I did that. It was the scariest moment of my life. But I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing. So if you know a way how to stay safe, please share with me right now. I absolutely would love to hear that. Thank you, Lorna. I see. Dawn, from Liverpool. Howdy, howdy. Do you think Russia may be involved in some of the recent conflicts in Gaza and Kashmir? Just a wild idea. I don't think in Kashmir because it's an old conflict. Gaza, perhaps. Why are they following? Do you know? Of course I do. They follow me because I'm a YouTuber with almost 400,000 subscribers because why standing up against Russian government every single day, and that is why they follow me. I've caught them 4 times. Twice they didn't really hide themselves, they were showing themselves, and that was even scarier. And twice I caught them lurking behind. So, yes, I have pretty darn good idea why they are following me. You need to take pictures of whoever you think are a threat and share with all your friends. And what? Guy, and what? And what then? Safety is relative. Absolutely right, Terry. Andreas Benz. Oh, Kiss the Bot. The band DDT Yuri Shevchuk gave a live concert in March 2025. Last year they were here in Tashkent. The Highwayman. Good to see you. Friend, let me know the prayer. How you doing? Any better? The prayers still needed? I wonder if they have a tap on all of us in the chat too. I don't think so. Why? Sam, what's the difference between followers and stalkers on YouTube? Trust me, there's a huge difference. That's not funny. Well, I understand you made a joke. That's fine, but there's a huge difference. When you, well, I don't want to be, I want to say in a rude language here, but some when I saw them first, one guy, and we realized, and uh, I we were a group of people honoring Navalny, and he came to us and he started following us right next to us, and it was extremely suspicious for a few minutes, and then we all realized who he was. I came to him and I said, "Pardon me, are you with our group? Are you following us?" He looked at me boldly and said, "Yeah, I'm following you." And when we started going different ways, he started taking pictures of our taxi cabs. Well, I tell you what, that's a big difference from stalking on YouTube. Piece of my male autonomy, pieces of my male autonomy just, it's a very odd feeling, but that wasn't feeling well, okay? Almost crapped my pants. What about moving to Ukraine? In Ukraine, I'm also, well, perhaps not an enemy, but I'm definitely not welcome there. I think the only way they would let me in is if I go straight to fight in the army, in Ukrainian army, which I'm not gonna do. Um, Steve, off topic. Thank you, friend. Who do you think better chess player? Kasparov, Carlson, Fischer? I'm not a big chess player. I mean, I remember Kasparov playing. I don't know. Sorry. Ron Gravel, howdy. Sorry to hear about your allergies. Lorna, wrapping up here. Have you tried going to the Balkan countries? Serbia has direct connection to Russia. People are deported from Russia, from Serbia to Russia for their political stand. Okay, thank you, but no thank you. And other countries are limited by visa because they're part of European Union. Bass, will the regime collapse if inflation is higher than Argentina? That's gonna take a lot of time to get higher than Argentina. I cannot answer that. I'm sorry. Um, okay, the last question from Michelle. They know you exist, but at the same time, you are needed to soften their image as you still allowed to occupy media space. You're needed to soften their image as you still allowed to occupy media space. Okay. RTZ will pay you lots of money if we make it with colored pencils. Well, I think that pained a lot of YouTubers. I think you might even know them with American dollars. Okay, because that's important. That's much more. It's much more valuable. Much worth. It's worth more than money for them. Okay, public opinion, turning opinion towards Russia, brightening image of Russia, and YouTubers do that. They do it well. Some of them. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for today's live stream. It's fantastic to see so many people today. I invite you to join me in prayer as usual. Just Terry, happy birthday again. And before we start praying, I would like to remind you that I'm taking a couple days off. I'm taking my mom out of Tashkent. That's my present for her, not for long, for just a couple nights. So I will stay in touch. Perhaps do a video tomorrow. Perhaps day after tomorrow. We'll see. But I might be off 1 or 2 days. So thank you so very much, and please join me in prayer. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting the food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with the loved ones, people who we love and who love us. Thank you for our families and children. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful. Give us wisdom to raise our children in a way that they become good people. They will not fight in any wars and will make this world a better place. For now, please keep our children healthy and safe. Dear Lord, I am asking for Ukraine. Please help stop the bloodshed and send peace to the country and its people. The Ukrainians need peace badly. Please send everyone peace. Help every single Ukrainian who has been affected by this terrible tragedy. Answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. And reach out and touch the hearts and souls of those responsible and capable of the decision to stop the bloodshed. Fill their hearts with love. Remind them that they're still human beings, so they make the decision to stop the bloodshed. And please help my country, Russia, assemble your strongest angels with sharpest swords. Have Saint Michael lead them, lead this heavenly army, and send everyone to this earth to get rid of the demons who have hijacked my country, who we know by their names and by their faces. Dear Lord, please send angels, your wonderful angels, to help good Russian people to transform their country, to make it peaceful, loving, and respecting. Dear Lord, please help everyone who is traveling, send safe travels, help everyone who is in danger right now, help all single mothers and fathers who are struggling, raising their children, trying to make ends meet. Help those who are helping Ukrainians and help Ukrainians who are currently under Russian attacks. Please send everyone safety. Please help all the sick, addicted, cold, hungry, homeless, jobless, depressed, betrayed, all those who are crying, all those who are hurting, um, those who are losing their faith, those who are feeling abandoned, alone, betrayed. Touch everyone's heart and let them know that you are still with them, right next to them, watching every step they take. Let them know that you still love them and you will not leave them. Please help everyone in need. Dear Lord, thank you so much for so many people getting together here and praying. Thank you for everyone who's praying along with me right now or simply watching me pray. Thank you for every single person here. Please answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's wish come true. Dear Lord, I want to ask you for help to some people who need your help. They are Greg. Please send recovery and send strength to the family who loves Greg and is around Greg, helping him to recover. Please send recovery and so the Greg can leave the hospital and go home healthy and his kidneys will work. Please help Just Terry, help with pneumonia, with health, send recovery so he feels better and he's recovered again. Help Teresa, Jeff, Karsten, Janice Burgess, Rose Halbert Bronicky, Janice, Lorna, also please send recovery. Daniela Fromm and her family. Ann Larson, Hannah, Jeffrey S. and his family, Katharina Holm, Alex, Mark, Hank's sister, Tom W., J.R. McKim, Gabin with Gary, Lisa, Harry, Terry Carter, John McLean, Linda, Paula W., Dennis Jason Carney, Susie Mailer, Tim, Dory, Rhonda, John, Taylor, Wayne, Darla, George Ruberty, Pamela J., Meta, David Porter, his family, and everyone in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Life, Randolph, Grace, Dean Spooner and his church, Yelena, Natasha, Michael, Jake, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Sergey, Liz, Ron, Liz, Koshkin Dom, Sandra, Mike and Mike, Petra Olson, Joseph, Melissa, Jodes, Millie, Philip, Eileen, Victor, Highwayman, Jeff, Denise Abbott, Renate, and Derek Martinez. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching, interacting, talking, and for praying along with me. Big day tomorrow in Moscow, May 9th, the V-Day parade. A lot of things might happen, well, already happened. A lot of leaders are in Moscow shaking Putin's hand. That's a victory and his triumph. This is the first day of triumph in 3 years. Lots of talked about, lots to inform you. Please keep on tuning in. I will be on and off for the next 4 days, and then I will come back and stay with you every single night. Thank you so much. Before I sign off, 2 things. First, don't forget that you are awesome and you rock. And second, please finish this live stream by saying it out loud as you can. Repeat after me. Carthago delenda est.